If there's one thing the past few weeks have reminded me, it's that no matter how careful you plan, life has its own timeline. You can map out every step, every workout, every hike, but sometimes things just don't go the way you pictured them. I had plenty of time to think about that on my 3-hour drive to the trailhead. 4 months of structured training behind me, hours of pushing through tough workouts, building strength and endurance, all leading toward one big goal, summiting my first 14er, a true Sierra Nevada classic. It's been challenging, rewarding, and honestly, a little humbling. So where does that leave me now? I'm out on a day hike today in the Southern California area, and today I'm attempting my very first summit. Actually 2, if everything goes well, 2 in one go. So we'll see. It's not one of the tall ones yet, but you gotta start somewhere, right? Hi everyone, this is Andrea with Adventures and Dreams, and today I'm bringing you yet another step on my long journey of summiting a mountain in the Sierra Nevada. It's been quite the journey for sure. We started this when I camped when it was still snowing a little bit, and I've been training hard to make this happen. So I have a lot of updates for you on my training and what I've changed in my training routine, and some things that happened on a hike just recently. Back in May, my training started simple: elliptical sessions and light strength workouts to build a foundation. I added hiking whenever I could, and swimming or yoga on recovery days to keep things balanced. When I moved into the base training phase, things got more serious. I shifted from general strength to max strength, lifting as much as my legs could handle, just 3 or 4 reps at a time. The idea, according to Training for the New Alpinism, the book guiding this whole process, is that max strength becomes the groundwork for muscular endurance later on. And honestly, I could feel it working. My legs got stronger, and it really showed during my cardio sessions. I kept up with the elliptical, but stopped relying on the easy pre-made workouts. Instead, I started designing my own, dialing up the resistance and learning how to manage my pace to stay in heart rate zones 1 and 2. That was a big milestone for me, understanding how to push hard without overdoing it. Swimming and yoga stayed about the same, though I'll admit recovery days were rare. Time was tight, but even with that, I've seen real progress these past few months, and it's motivating to see how far I've come. Hi my friends, I made it to my first peak, which is really kind of tiny. It's not even 9,000 feet elevation here, but it's so cool. It's right in the clouds. They keep drifting in and out of the scene here, and I'm all alone. I just had one hiker earlier who was training for the Sierra Nevada mountains, and we spoke for a little bit, and he must have already returned, and so now I'm all alone on the mountain. But yeah, I'm happy to have reached this tiny goal. It's nothing compared to what I hiked a couple of weeks ago, and I'll tell you about that on our next stop here. But let's just continue to the next one. This is Mount Pinos, and the next one is Sawmill Mountain. The trail drops steeply before the next climb, and from here I can see the second peak, waiting in the distance. It looks close, but I know it's going to take some work to get there. The switchbacks lead me down the slope, past endless fields of grass that must have looked incredible back in spring when they were in full bloom. At the bottom, the trail slips into a beautiful stretch of old-growth forest. Everything gets quiet here, except for the birds. These massive trees have a way of putting things in perspective. It's hard not to slow down and just take it all in for a moment. As I start climbing again, I notice how my legs feel, how my heart rate slowly rises. I feel strong and honestly grateful to be here. As convenient as the gym at home is, this is what it's all about. Being in nature, surrounded by trees, the air full of pine, far away from busy streets and the noise of everyday life. I actually forgot a spoon to make my coffee, so I'm just gonna have to swoosh it around. It's nothing like a nice cup of coffee when you're up on the mountaintop. As you can see, we made it to the second peak as well. It's a Sawmill Mountain, I believe. It was pretty steep going down and back up, but it wasn't anything like a couple of weeks ago when I went with my friend Heike. Heike, if you watch this, this is a shout out to you for taking me with you and for bringing coffee along last time we hiked. That was really nice. And so you inspired me to bring my own coffee today. But yeah, we're all alone up here. It's really cool. So let me tell you about my hike a couple of weeks ago with my friend. We went just 30 minutes from my home. It was a really quick drive up into the mountains where there was actually a fire last year. So we were hiking right into the burned area. And it was very steep. It was a fairly short hike, but it was very steep. It was a total of 2,400 and something feet in elevation gain. I didn't feel as good as I hoped I would. We started really well. We started with a slow pace and my heart rate was okay and I felt really happy. But soon my heart rate was going up again, like way more than my friends did. And that is just frustrating after so much training and definitely noticing that things are getting better, but it's just not enough in the mountains. My heart rate is still going way past where it should be. But that's not even the worst. We had a coffee up there. It was really nice. We had clouds the whole time because it was raining. Rain was coming our way. And on the way down, it was obviously just as steep, and my knees hurt like they've never hurt before on the way down. I know I walked really slow and I used hiking sticks on the way down, and I had very soft steps to cushion kind of the steps, if you know what I mean. I kind of rolled my feet a little bit to make it really smooth, but wow, my knees were killing me so much. I never felt like anything like that before. And yeah, and that didn't go away. It was like all the way back down, and it was painful, and the whole evening, and it was just awful. And even now I can still feel the soreness a little bit. And I was afraid to do this hike today, but it actually turned out okay. I'm not feeling anything crazy like I did a couple of weeks ago. But that being said, my window to make it in the Sierra Nevada, to make it up a mountain there, is closing in so much that I actually decided to push it to next year. And I feel so horrible about it because I've talked about it for the last few months. I've been really psyched about it and trained hard for it so far, but it just hasn't been enough yet. And there are a couple of reasons probably. I'm in less good a shape than most people, I think. I get out of breath way faster than others. And I didn't hike as often as I should have. It's supposed to be in my schedule every week, and I did not go every week at all. So that's just not good, and that's not how you get better. And let's put this down. Yeah, so those two things. Not a good condition to begin with, and then not any hiking, hardly any hiking at all. Well, and then I went to Germany for 2 weeks to see my parents, and we went to a big anniversary of my town, and there was no training at all. And a week after that, I had to battle with the time zone change again and the cold. So I had a total of 3 weeks without any training. And that just reset almost everything. And so here we are. It's beginning of October. I wanted to go on this peak hike with you guys next week to the Sierra Nevada mountains, but it's just not safe. It would be a 10 to 14 hour hike with elevation gain on the main day of over 3,000 feet. So it's way more than what I did 2 weeks ago. And if I have any kind of pain like that again on the way down on such a long hike, that would not be good. On top of that, there's snow in the forecast for this weekend, about 6 inches or more in the mountains up there. And so that doesn't sound really promising either. So my friends, I hate to say it, but you have to be a little bit more patient with me. I have to work even harder over the winter to make up for lost time that I had in the summer, and get stronger and get more knee exercises also in to just gain muscles around the knees to stabilize them better. But those are the big news. I wish I had better news for you guys. But you have to wait a little bit longer for that epic peak adventure that I promised you guys earlier this year. And soon the snow season begins, and I really want to camp in the snow, so I hope you're going to join me for that as well. But yeah, I am going to the Sierra Nevada next week. I am going to film in the fall and hopefully get some really nice colors up there. But it's not going to be any kind of epic pass or any kind of crazy hike. I just learned my lesson from 2 weeks ago that I need to not push quite as much and just listen to my body a little bit more. And I didn't see this coming because I haven't had pain like this in many years. And so it was a bit of a surprise, but that's how it goes.
I'll be honest, there's a part of me that feels a little defeated. But there's also the stronger part that's even more determined to keep going. The last 4 months weren't wasted, far from it. They showed me that I can do this, that the training has already changed me. I can hike longer without losing my breath, climb higher with more confidence. At least until I met that steep descent my knees weren't quite ready for. Now my focus is on rebuilding, stretching, strengthening, and staying consistent. This time I'm fully committing to my weekly hikes. To keep myself accountable, I've created 2 new logs. The first is my hiking log, where I track every detail, distance, elevation, effort, even the weeks I miss. It's a way to see progress written out,
one hike at a time. The second is my 6-pack of peaks log, a list of all the Southern California summits in the challenge. My goal is to climb as many as I can in the coming months, starting with Sawmill Mountain today. And through it all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here, for cheering me on, for sharing this journey with me, even when the path isn't perfect. Every step brings me a little closer to that first 14er. And I'm so grateful to have you along for the climb.